Hi everyone, welcome to my class. We have already seen 6 figures of speech in the first part of the video. Now, in this video, we will see another 9 figures of speech based on contrast and sound effect. They are antithesis, oxymoron, epigram, euphemism, alliteration, repetition, anaphora, onomatopoeia, and pun. The first category in this video is figures of speech based on contrast. In this, antithesis is the first one. In antithesis, two opposite words or two words that denote opposite sentiments will be used in the same line. This kind of figure of speech is used by the poets to give more emphasis for one particular idea or concept. See this example. Man proposes, God disposes. Proposes and disposes are opposite words. Man proposes meaning man makes lot of decisions and it is God who finally decides whether to fulfill that wish or not. The second example, speech is silver, silence is golden. To emphasize the power of silence, its opposite word speech is used here. Another famous line or a quotation written by Alexander Pope in his book Essay on Criticism is one of the best examples for this figure of speech. To err is human, to forgive divine. Men do mistakes, they commit sins, and it is God who forgives everyone. But some people, when they forgive others' mistakes, they behave as if they are divine. Alexander Pope, he criticized this attitude of the people through this sentence and in his book. The next figure of speech in this category is oxymoron. There is not much difference between oxymoron and antithesis. Both of them are showing contrasting ideas. The only difference is in antithesis, opposite words are used in the same line, but in oxymoron, they are placed side by side. Knowingly or unknowingly, we use such oxymorons in our speech in our day-to-day life. See these examples. Those children were found missing after school. Found missing. Another famous example told by American President Donald Trump. Nothing was stolen. I had an honest thief. When he lost his costly watch and after he found it from the same place where he kept it, he made such a remark that the thief was an honest person. An honest person can never become a thief, and a thief is never honest. Some more examples of oxymorons we can see here. Big baby. Babies are never big. Open secret. See, how can a secret become open? Passive aggressive. Aggressive people are never passive. Original copy. Alone together. Deafening silence. It is sound which is deafening us, not silence. Clearly confused. If you are clear, you will not be confused. Living dead. In all these examples, one fact is very clear that to emphasize one word and one meaning or concept, its opposite word is also used. Some more examples for oxymorons are, your notebooks are completely incomplete. You might have heard such kind of sentences from your teacher. Second one, good night, parting is such sweet sorrow. Sorrow can never become sweet. Shakespeare, in his play Romeo and Juliet, used this line. Here, they feel very sweet because Romeo and Juliet are in love. At the same time, they feel sorrow because during night time they have to part from each other. The third example is the situation was seriously funny. Funny things can never become serious, and serious things can never become funny. Through this statement, how funny the situation is, it is described using the opposite word serious. Now, the third figure of speech in this category is euphemism. In euphemism, harsh fact is mentioned in a milder way to avoid a shocking effect. In euphemism, harsh fact is mentioned or expressed in a milder way to reduce the shocking effect. See this example. The man is fired. That means he is dismissed from his job. He conveys that message to his wife or to his family that, good news, dear, I'm going to be spending more time with the family. One more example we can see, that is, you are telling me a fairy tale. That means you are telling a lie. The fourth figure of speech in this category is epigram. Epigrams are short, witty sentences. They express a general truth or convey a message. Almost all proverbs are coming under epigram. See this example. If we don't end war, war will end us. It is a fact. If people don't stop fighting with each other, then the entire humanity will be completely destroyed into nothing by war. One more example. Child is the father of man. Child is the father of man. It is a famous statement. It can be used as a proverb. William Wordsworth, the nature poet, used this expression in his famous poem Rainbow. Another name of the poem Rainbow is My Heart Leaps Up. When he was a child, noting a rainbow, his heart filled with joy. The same emotions he felt as a grown up man. This shows that a person will have the same qualities as an adult that he has had as a child. From this proverb or from this epigrammatic statement, we can understand one fact, that we should develop good qualities in children from the childhood itself. Now, the next category of figure of speech is figures of speech based on sound effects. In this category, the first one is alliteration. Alliteration is nothing but the repetition of same consonant sound at the beginning of words that are placed close to each other. In English alphabet, there are consonants and vowels. Consonant sounds and vowel sounds are there. According to the letters, we use it. If the first consonant sound of the particular word is repeated more than 2 times, then we say that alliteration figure of speech is used. The purpose of alliteration is to give rhythm or music. Example, 7 sisters slept soundly on sand. Here, 7 sir sound, sisters again sir sound, soundly sand. In these two words also, sir sound is repeated. One more example is given here. While I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping. Na, na, na is repeated. The second figure of speech in this category is repetition. In repetition, words or phrases will be repeated in a poem or in a stanza. The purpose of repeating these words and phrases are for giving music or rhythm to the poem, as well as to get the attraction or the attention of the readers. Normally in nursery classes, kids are taught English rhymes by using alliteration and repetition. Such kinds of rhymes or rhythmic words make the students pay more attention to what they are learning. Turn thy hasty food aside. Work while you work and play while you play. One more example is Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Now, the third one you can see, that is anaphora. Anaphora is also one kind of repetition. But the difference between repetition and anaphora is, in repetition, Words and phrases will be repeated, but not in the beginning. In anaphora, in the beginning of each line, one particular word will be repeated. The best example for this figure of speech is Where the Mind is Without Fear poem written by Rabindranath Tagore. Where the mind is without fear, where knowledge is free. Like that, the line goes everywhere in every sentence. The first word is where. The second example is the poem written by Rudyard Kipling. Name of the poem is If. In this poem, the poet describes what are the qualities needed to become a perfect person. So all the lines are beginning with if, the word if. It shows the conditions. The next figure of speech in this category is onomatopoeia. In onomatopoeia, a sound and a word which is used to denote the particular sound will be same. In onomatopoeia, a sound and a word which is used to denote the sound will be same. There is an association between the sound and the word. Examples: cuckoo, splash, crunch. These are the sound made by certain things. Cuckoo is a sound made by the cuckoo bird. Splash is a sound made by water when we jump into it. Crunch is a sound made by when we eat something crunchy. So the sound is also same, and the word which you are using to denote the sound is also same only comes. Some other examples we can see. The sudden long hissing of the slithering snake startled her. Hissing is the sound made by snake. The loud boom of the fireworks scared the dog. Fireworks, whenever you use firework, you can hear these kinds of sound. That is boom sound. The word is boom and the sound is boom. And the last figure of speech in this category is pun. In pun, we make use of one word with two meanings. The purpose of using one word in two meanings or double application is there. The purpose is to create humorous effect or ludicrous effect. Example: is life worth living? It depends upon the liver. It depends upon the liver, meaning it depends upon the person who lives his life. Or it depends upon the liver, that is his organ, inside organ. If the liver is not in proper condition, he cannot live. That is the meaning. Another example: the duck said to the bartender, put it on my bill. Put it on my bill. Here the word bill is used with the two meaning. One meaning is beak, another one is the bill which you are getting after buying something. So here the duck says, either you keep it in my beak, another meaning is add this in my bill. One more example we can see. Two silkworms had a race and ended in a tie. Here the word tie is used with two meaning. Tie means when neither of the party wins, we say that there is a tie between them. Another meaning of tie is what? A piece of clothing usually made from silk. So two silkworms had a race and finally they ended in a tie. That meaning no one could win. There was a tie between them. That is one meaning. Another meaning is both of them died and they were used for making silk from their body. So you can easily understand figures of speech with more and more examples. Hope you understood all the figures of speech mentioned in this video. If you liked my video, like it, share it with your friends and subscribe. If at all you have any comments, write it in the comment box. Thank you.